Well, the accident happened, I believe it was a Monday evening, around 6:30 p.m. And although I have no recollection of it, I was alone in my car coming home after work, may have blacked out, and the next thing I know, I'm in the hospital at Rockford. I sustained so many injuries. Again, they didn't expect me to live. I was in ICU for, I think, 5 to 7 days somewhere, as I understand it. The first sign I got of my consciousness, my arms were in kind of these metal cages because they were so severely broken, as well as my legs in different harness type devices. But I understood for some reason what had happened, even though I blacked out before it happened. There were so many injuries. Apparently, several of the orthopedic surgeons said, in the future, when anyone asks what bones you broke, why don't you tell them which ones you didn't, because it's a shorter list than the ones you broke. So, apparently my limbs, my bones were sticking out through my skin in various areas. They weren't sure I could even stand again, let alone walk, because Dr. Earhart said I just basically crushed this left knee. There were so many broken bones and so many stitches and scars and fractures that I wasn't expected to live. And it was very much touch and go for the first 5 to 6 days. When I pulled through ICU, they thought that, okay, if I had gotten through this, then maybe they can do surgeries. And so the amount of surgeries was somewhere in the area of 10 to 11, I believe. I was in ICU for, I think it was close to a week. They didn't know if I was going to live or die. And then I miraculously pulled through, and Dr. Earhart was just so great to my son. And he would text my son, and my son would text him back, or they would call one another. And it made him feel like it was a family emergency that he was part of. He didn't seem like a doctor that was like doing the work on the dad and, okay, here's the next report, but your dad is it. He was very compassionate, and he was very caring to the point where even when I got to know him after, I'm like, all right, where am I? What happened? He just said, as far as sustaining the injuries and the unfortunate thing that happened with the other person, he said it was an accident. You didn't intend or mean to hurt anyone. Just that caring, you know what I mean? And here's a guy that does this every day, just about, and his sense of bedside manner and caring was just unbelievable. At first, the only thing that's on your mind is the pain you feel. It's just, or the limitations that you have, the not being able to bend your leg or feel your feet for a while or feel certain things that you used to. So that, I hate to say it, but it's all about me, because that's all I was thinking about is how I'm going to do this or how I feel or, what can happen. Then, so transitioning from what happened to an everyday normal life, so to speak, was very gradual. But I think from a psychological standpoint, it was something that you have to be able to look at one way or the other and go, I was spared for a reason, the reason I don't know why, but take that and use it to try to build upon it and say, for all the effort that went in to making me as normal as I can be once again, I need to do whatever I can on my own to strengthen myself, to do whatever I have to live a normal life. It's going to be a different life, and you have to understand that. It's never going to be the same. But if you have people that care for you, family and friends, that'll be with you every step of the way, that helps. But you have to either make up your mind, and I think it's not a gray area. It's either black or it's white. and you make a decision, yes, I'm going to survive, I'm going to beat this thing, and I'm going to do whatever I can to transition into my new world. And it's still a daily routine to try to cope with, because I was a very active person years ago. I did everything for myself. I didn't hire anyone that I could do something myself with. So that's a little bit different today. But you have to realize your limitations and what the obstacles are, and then take it from there.